Hobbes finished his tea and got to his feet, saying he was heading back to the police station. Having decided to tag along, I was soon in the once familiar position of scurrying behind, breathing heavily and trying to keep up with his long, lazy lope. When we turned into Vermin Street, I was suddenly and unexpectedly enveloped in a big black dog. "Get off," I said, wrestling with Dreggs, who, having not seen me for a while, was determined to make up for lost time. I was delighted to meet him again, despite his long, wet tongue. In addition, I was rather proud he'd failed to knock me to the ground, as he'd done so many times before. "Have you finished courting for today?" asked Hobbes. "What?" I said, taken by a sudden fear that he'd heard something. But he was talking to Dreggs, who wagged his tail and contrived to look smug. "Should he be out on his own?" I asked. "I doubt it, but he insisted." He paused and looked down the road. Hello. What's going on here, then?" A spaghetti-thin man in a threadbare jacket and stained trousers, tears rolling down his bony face, was running towards us, shouting, "Mr. Hobbes! Mr. Hobbes!" "Calm down, Bob," said Hobbes. "Whatever is the matter?" "It's Rosy," said Skeleton Bob as he drew near. "Some swine has murdered her." "Rosy who?" asked Hobbes, frowning and reaching for his notebook. "Bob's prize pig," I said. "It was in Cirencester Life. I forgot to tell you, I'm going to be published in Cirencester Life." "When did this happen?" asked Hobbes. "This morning," I said. "Phil Waring told me." "Thank you, Andy. But I was asking Bob." "It must have happened overnight, Mr. Hobbes. I went to feed her this morning, and there she was, dead. Murdered. She was such a sweet pig." "Tell me what happened," asked Hobbes, who, to his credit, was still looking concerned. "Someone must have broken down the wire around her yard and attacked her in a house. There was blood all over, and she was dead. Stabbed, I reckon. She was a lovely animal." "Most unpleasant," said Hobbes. "Have you informed the police yet?" "We don't have a phone, because we couldn't pay the bill. I had to walk, and I've only just got here, and I'm really tired." "But your cottage is only 5 miles out of town. It shouldn't have taken you more than an hour and a half," I said. "I had some things to deliver," said Bob. "I have to do them all on foot since they took my van away. They reckoned it wasn't roadworthy." "I heard you drove it into a pond," said Hobbes. "Yes, but I could have got it out." "I also heard it had no brakes, and that all 4 tyres were as bald as eggs, and that there was a big hole in the floor." "But it still went like a bomb." Hobbes smiled. "I'll give you a lift home and take a look at the crime scene. My car's at the station. Do you fancy a trip out, Andy?" I nodded, and he led the way down Vermin Street and through a dank and mossy alley before we reached the back of the police station, where his latest ridiculously small car, a rusty Nissan Micra, was parked. Bob and I had to cram into the back, since Dreggs preferred riding up front. The engine started. "Hang on,"